Hi, welcome to Boston. I'm Anthony Terracone, managing partner of the Kreindler law firm here in Boston and a past president of this great organization. It's great to have you here. In so many ways, it all began here. The first jury trial in the New World was in Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1630. John Adams, a local trial lawyer, drafted the Massachusetts Constitution 150 years later, and it is still in effect today in Massachusetts, guaranteeing the right to trial by jury in both criminal and civil cases. And it became the basis for the Sixth and Seventh Amendments 11 years later in 1791. I hope you have time to visit some of our historic locations here around the city. The Kreindler firm is located right here in the heart of the Back Bay on Boylston Street, a block and a half from the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Take a walk over to Newbury Street, which is the next street over, and enjoy the wonderful restaurants, galleries, take a stroll. It's the greatest street in the city for people watching and just having a good time. Take a walk over to the Esplanade. You can stroll or jog there or go across the river and visit MIT and Harvard University. And by the way, Harvard is where AAJ had its roots in 1946 when the organization under a different name began, and it was housed at the Roscoe Pound Building at Harvard until 1977. Hope you have a chance to visit the Freedom Trail down around the North End and the foot of Beacon Hill, the waterfront and Faneuil Hall Marketplace. And stop by the Union Oyster House over near Faneuil Hall Marketplace. It's where Daniel Webster himself, a trial lawyer, would stop and have a beer after a day in court. A lot of people think Boston's North End is just about Italian restaurants, and there are some great ones, but it's not only the restaurants in the North End. It's a very historic place. Many of the sites on the Boston Freedom Trail are in the North End. Paul Revere's house is still standing. And the Old North Church, where the lantern was hung in 1775. One if by land and two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be. And Paul Revere then embarked on his historic ride out to Lexington and Concord to warn the Minutemen that the British were coming. Also in the waterfront seaport area is our wonderful Moakley Courthouse, named after Congressman Joe Moakley, who many will still remember as a friend of the American Association for Justice. The courthouse is a spectacular structure on the harbor. Be sure to visit it. When you leave the North End, when you pass by Prince Street, give a nod to my grandfather, Gaetano Lamarca, who founded the Prince Spaghetti Company on Prince Street in the North End in 1912.
Anthony Martignetti lives in Boston, in the Italian North End, the home of the Prince Spaghetti Company.
And everybody here in Boston knows that Wednesday is still Prince Spaghetti Day. On Beacon Hill, be sure to visit the African Meeting House, which is the oldest black church in America and part of the Museum of African American History, which is currently featuring an exhibit entitled Picturing Frederick Douglass, who happens to have been the most photographed American in the 19th century. At the foot of Beacon Hill, in the public garden, there's a tribute to the Robert McCloskey children's classic, Make Way for Ducklings. Be sure to take the kids to see it, and while you're there, they can ride on the swan boats. With no apologies to Yankees fans, we hope you'll enjoy Fenway Park, where baseball history has and will for many years be made, and where the Green Monster still rules. The Kreindler firm is really proud to be part of this rich heritage here in the city of Boston. We're glad you're here. It's good to see old friends, and we hope to make new ones. Have a great time.